We talked a little bit, B. Will, yesterday about the commitment of one Jalewis Solomon, who did land with Auburn yesterday. Jalewis Solomon is 6'1", 190 pounds, out of Shelley County in Ellaville, Georgia. Am I getting all that correct? But he is a 4-star recruit, and by all accounts, the kid is playing behind his pads in a very real way. He's out there knocking heads on the football field. You didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday on our stream, Mike G. I'm going to go to you here in just a second. But B. Will, after you've marinated over the afternoon, evening, nighttime, you woke up refreshed. What are your thoughts on the commitment of one Jalewis Solomon?
It dampens the blow of not getting Bolden, because I think people had started to believe that we could get Bolden. And like Mike said, this could have been already in the crock pot. Bolden to FSU could have been a done deal a while ago, and we just made it interesting. But getting a guy, number one, the saltiness from any fan base that's not ours sustains.
South Carolina fans were
love
losing their ever-loving shit yesterday.
Hold on, wait, what?
They were going nuts when Jalewis. Yes,
man, it was so delicious. It was.
They lost. Oh my God, they were going nuts yesterday.
Oh man,
because
you mean Coach Soldier Boy lost the recruit and they were.
They went. Oh my God, it was so. I was like, y'all cannot be down like this. Stop. It's okay. They woke up that morning. There was somebody was like, "Happy Jalewis Solomon Day" to everybody who celebrates that tweet. Kind of got.
It was a Gamecock account. It was fantastic.
There was a kid who does graphics who was all mad because somebody asked him to do. Somebody asked him to do a commit graphic, and then he ended up not using it because he didn't go to South Carolina. There was some other account where dude did a whole
15 minutes on his graphic.
Yo, they were
for real. Like he was the reasons they were trying to be upset. I worked hard on this graphic. It said like Jalewis Solomon asked him to do it as a favor. Hey, can you do this for me? Because you know I'm coming to South Carolina. He said, cool. And then Jalewis Solomon himself said, no, listen, they were melting down. Of course, the common response apparently, whenever somebody loses a recruit to us, is going to be, well, you know, Hugh Freeze is so dirty. He's a criminal, Hugh Freeze. These standard issue generic responses. I love them. I love them because you've got nothing but pain. It reminds me so much of the comeback win, and then, well, it's not going to count. It's not going to count because they're going to disqualify him, and you'll be vacating these. It's wonderful.
I forgot about that.
Stupid stuff.
Great throwback there.
Oh man, it's so great.
They were going crazy. It was some dude who did a whole video about how Auburn is a program stuck in the mud and needing resuscitation. He can't believe he would go to such a terrible program as Auburn. And Hugh Freeze he doesn't care I don't care what Hugh Freeze did at Liberty. You can say he rehabilitated himself. Leopard doesn't change the spots. Like,
I hate when we're talking football and people resort to moral attacks. I really do.
I love it.
I hate the moral brigade, the moral high horse crew is always somewhere way in the wings every time Hugh Freeze does something positive.
Yes.
Anytime Auburn does anything positive, it always becomes this Auburn. We apparently the only way Auburn wins is if we cheat, but everybody else who wins does it above board.
Yeah.
Auburn's the cheaters that win, and everybody else is just these patron saints of morality out here doing everything the correct way. Y'all gotta give me a break.
Yeah, listen, he spends all his time on recruiting, so it's not a shock that he's doing well at recruiting.
Right.
Like, I mean, this man
did y'all see the video that they released today? He looks tired, man.
Well, I go back to the interview that we did with him.
Yeah.
And he was clearly tired.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the video, after we hit stop, he's like, all right, guys, I gotta go talk to a recruit. I mean, he spends all his time recruiting.
Yeah.
So he's good at it. I mean, I think that when you proclaim to be a person who can turn programs around quickly, you can't not be good at recruiting.
Right.
It's the only way you're going to turn a program around.
Got to get the talent.
That's it. I mean, come on, man. Okay, whatever. South Carolina fan. And you know what's crazy is I like Shane Beamer.
Yeah.
And South Carolina fans are generally pleasant. But losing your minds over this one recruit and questioning his whole existence.
They just knew he was coming.
Yeah.
In their heart of hearts, there was no way you could convince them they were going to wake up Saturday morning. Jalewis Solomon was going to be committing that evening. They probably had, Golden's cast irons ready with grills of tiger meat on them. They were going to go out there and they were going to celebrate. And it's barbecue chicken, my boy.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
That was delicious. That was better. Honestly, because I think we said this yesterday. I didn't know we were in the running for Jalewis Solomon. I knew it was coming up, and there was like whispers. Oh, we were trying to get him last minute. Okay, cool. If we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. And we got him. I was like, wow. Okay, so that's a good development. Saw his tape. I was like, oh no. So this is a baller. Saw all the whining and the crying. It made my day. Made my day. I knew we were like 50-50, 40-60 for Bolden, right? Like we couldn't, whatever. But no. All that boo-hooing from South Carolina fans, it made it a wonderful Saturday. It was a great day.
It's too bad. I feel like y'all, their fan base is generally pleasant. I just think that this is a little overboard on this one guy.
It broke them a little bit.
Sorry. I mean, I get it. You're recruiting against Georgia. You're recruiting against Clemson in the same state. You're recruiting against all these top flight schools within like 500 to 600 miles of you. And you got a guy who you think is a lock and you lose him. It hurts. Yeah. Listen, man. When Reuben Foster and his Auburn tattoo committed to Alabama, it hurt. Yeah. I get it. But I no way said Alabama cheated to get him.
Right.
I mean, he was an Auburn guy.
Alabama always does.
Yeah. They got recruits. I mean, that's what they do. Yeah. I get it. Now Hugh Freeze is coming in and the guy who we know is good at recruiting because he did it at Ole Miss. I want to say he brought one of them classes was top 5 at Ole Miss. Was he not?
Around that area, yeah.
Yeah, he had a top 5 class at Ole Miss. At Ole Miss. Guys, Ole Miss smells like corn chips and bad cabbage. And he recruited guys to come there. He's on the plains now, man. Come on. He's got a $90 million performance center.
Right.
If you haven't been through it, this thing is beautiful. It's a work of art. When they say Auburn recruits itself, I think they leaned on that a little bit too much. And so they got back in the mix and they were like, we need to upgrade the facilities. We need to do something. We need to have top flight things for athletes to come in because Alabama, after Saban won a couple championships, they started investing crazy into their program. They were going all in. And when you go there, I won't lie, guys, it's an impressive experience.
Yeah.
I got a chance to tour their facilities. It was nuts. I was like, oh, yeah, I get it. Compared to what Auburn had, it was a surprise they were getting any recruits.
Yeah.
So they said, okay, let's drop 90 mil on this thing. And let's have something to compete with everybody else. Now, listen, I'm not sure I know what South Carolina is working with. All I'm saying is that you are recruiting against, think about how many coaches in the SEC right now are making $6 million or more a year. You're going up against some great recruiters, man. They got hired. They're not making that money just because. So you should expect this. I expect Auburn to have somebody who they think is a lock flip at the last minute. It's going to happen, man. These are kids. Come on.
We didn't even think Cam Coleman was a lock, but that still hurt.
It hurt. It hurts right up the road, Phoenix City.
Yeah.
10 miles from me.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Saw him at the gas station. He was like, "Yep, Texas A&M feels like home." I was like, "Over actual home?"
But it feels like it. It's similar. It's a Beyond Burger.
I thought home felt like home, bro. He went out there, so it happens.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it is what it is. But Mike G, more on the Jalewis Solomon tip. Have you had a chance to look into this kid at all since he since he committed yesterday? And any thoughts on that situation in regard to even the job that Coach Crime and Etheridge have put in to this DB class looking absolutely ridiculous right now.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, this is an athlete, right? His junior year, caught 86 passes for 1,200 yards and 10 TDs, right? He's an athlete. He's credited with 29 tackles. He had 3 interceptions. They're going to find a place for this kid to play. I get why they were upset about him.
Yeah.
He's a baller.
Yeah.
He is definitely a baller. So, football players play football. And when you get a chance to touch the field, I mean, this kid has played on both sides of the ball. They want him as a DB, right? And it is amazing that they're able to pull this kind of talent in, because here's what's going to happen, right? There's going to be some kid, guys, who everybody is going to be talking about, and Jalewis Solomon is going to be slept on. And, getting kids like this in who have these impressive numbers. How many times have we looked at a kid's high school tape and been like, he's a dude?
Yeah.
Auburn has just not had a ton of them. So when they miss, it hurts. And now Hugh Freeze is stacking this class with a bunch of Jalewis Solomons. I really like his tape. Now, what I expect there to be a strong competition moving forward. But this 2024 class is going to be the base of what Auburn football is for the next 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Say it again for the people in the comments. The 2024 class is going to be the base for Auburn football is the next 3 to 4 years. So you got to get it right in this class, because if you don't, what's happening is you set yourself back about 1.5 years. You get these kids in, you start developing them, and then they for every kid that you can get some sort of game time experience this year, it's a win for you. It is an absolute and other win for you. Jalewis Solomon is a baller, man. I'm telling you. And if they're as good at developing as we hope they are, he's going to be just one of these. He's just going to be the next in a long line. That's what we hope. Next in a long line. So yeah, I don't think that. I think they nailed it with this one. And there's a reason why the South Carolina tears were flowing.
Yeah.
Like the knot.
It's only one thing worse than, I think, missing out on a top tier prospect like we did with KJ Bolden, and that is being sure that you had him. Crystal ball was 100% to South Carolina at one point. Within the last 6 weeks or so, they knew they had him. Like they were counting those chickens a long time ago.
Yeah, right.
That made it sting worse, I'm sure. But that's also what gave us the excellent reaction. Like, keep that coming. Just keep that coming. That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pretty hilarious thing to watch the absolute crumbling of a fan base over this whole situation. And I implore again, if you guys didn't hear me yesterday, Auburn fans, to not follow suit in regard to any recruit that we miss out on. KJ Bolden, best of luck to him in his future. It's definitely not over in that recruitment. I think that they're going to continue to recruit that young man all the way up until signing day, until that letter of intent is faxed in. Are they still faxing in letters of intent? Like, what is the deal with that? I don't understand. They still say that it's getting faxed in, but is that a real thing? Like, is there actually a fax machine somewhere?
Oh, no, there is. The thing is, I wonder if they can allow people to, like, sign and then scan and email it. Like, I hope so, but they also do still have a fax machine in there, yes.
Let's please just email the stuff, man. Just come on. Come on, man. I don't want to see fax machines anymore.
They all smudgy. Like, I can't make out who signed it.
It's 2023, man. Can we just stop pretending like fax machines are a thing that people need?
E-fax.
Do something digital, please. Because nobody want to be sitting around waiting, talking about, well, we couldn't figure out the fact. Like, look, man, hit send, bro. We good. All right. Send them a Adobe sign or something, man. Just be done with it.